It is time to scrap paper stickers that display vehicle registrations, warrants of fitness, and road user charges and digitise the whole process. Is it time to do that? Yes, says the Automobile Association. And they're not alone in thinking that, as the government seems to be on the same path, or road in this case. AA's Principal Advisor for Motoring Policy is Terry Collins, and he is with us on the platform. Good evening, Terry.
Good evening to you, Leah.
Lovely to talk to you. Thank you for your time. What is the benefits, the major benefits for road users if all of the paperwork, the Rego, WoF and all of that went digital?
I think it's going to cost us less, to be frank, because now if we do it online, there's a savings. There's a different fee structure if you attend in person. So obviously doing it online is cheaper, and if we were to get rid of the sticker, the printing of it, the mailing out of it, obviously it must be cost effective and cheaper still.
Well, that's a good point. So because what do? Sometimes I go online, sometimes I pop in. It kind of depends on how far I've, kind of let the WoF go up past.
All that information, information is currently digital down. It's just a matter of accessing it. Our road user charges, our registration, our warrant of fitness are all held by the Motor Vehicle Register. Recently, the New Zealand Transport Agency, Waka Kotahi, released their own app, and that has also your driver's licence details, how many demerit points you've got, and what classes of licence you've got. And I know that if you get pulled over by the police, they already know whether you've got a warrant of fitness or a registration is due, or whatever the case may be. So why not just make it easy for everybody?
You have said, though, what about the likes of, say, our older members of society, or maybe those rurally? Do you think they could get onto it as quickly?
Well, I think there'll be a transitional period. I know computers have been around for a long time, but some people are not that adept with it. And we just think for a transitional period is to allow the existing paper stickers to exist for those that either through don't have internet connection or just are not familiar with the process and want to go and visit somebody and talk to them and get it done. Well, that's great. But I think over time it'll be a transitional period and it'll ultimately be phased out. A little bit like checkbooks, I'd imagine.
What about, like you park your car and if there are still any parking wardens still on the beat, they walk past, and if they see that you're, at first glance, they can see if your WoF's overdue or anything like that. And then they can ticket you, obviously. What would happen in this instance if there was nothing on the window?
They'd put your registration number in, and ultimately all those details would pop up for them as compliance officers, the same as the police. They've got that ability to do it now. It'll just be extended to the council officers or the other ones. Obviously, they'll put some privacy protections around, who the owners and the addresses and things like that. But those basic infringement notice offences, which is not having a registration or a warrant of fitness or expired, or they can't test the road user charges because they won't be able to see odometer. But those simple ones that they do now, they'll still be able to do.
But wouldn't they? It's random though, isn't it? If they just walk past, and would they just have to walk past and go, let's just see if this car's legal?
Well, a little bit, but hey, look, we know with the likes of number plate recognition technology and other things, ultimately they'll probably just have a scanner that looks up the street, walks past the car, and will tell them whether it's due or not.
Yeah, that is true.
Sounds very Big Brother, but that's we've already got that now in service stations and a variety of other ones. That keeps a record on who does it, driveaways and other things like that. So that technology is already in use, and as compliance officers, they'll probably just utilise that. Instead of manually entering in, they'll just take a picture of it, and up will come all the details.
The government seems to be on the same page, Terry. Transport Minister Simeon Brown said they'd release the NZTA mobile app, which displays the WoF and vehicle rego information, including expiry dates. So, and you mentioned apps before, so that's they seem to be happy with that, I think.
Well, it's in the beta mode right now, which is the test mode. And so they're looking for feedback on it. There's another one called Bonnet, which is privately owned, which supplies the same thing, but also includes things like when your service is due. Now, often we try to forget that unless you get the friendly reminder from your mechanic. And so that will tell you all the same things. I don't think Bonnet, I'm not sure, have your driver's license details and your demerit points. I don't think they had part of it, but they're really focused on the fleet management and car management. So they're looking at your, when your service is due, when your registration's due, warrant of fitness, things like that.
Terry, I was wondering if you might have a thought on the announcement today of the government's roads of regional significance that will sit alongside roads of national. Do you think that's something we've needed for some time?